Welcome back to my Transformers Prime episode reviews. Today we're taking a look at the episode Nemesis Prime. Funny how I just wrapped up my episode reviews of Kingdom, which also featured Nemesis Prime at the end. And now we're on to the Transformers Prime episode and version of the character. I couldn't have lined those up better if I tried. In this episode, MECH's secret project Chimera comes to fruition as they unleash their own Transformer, Nemesis Prime, piloted by Silas himself. We begin with Agent Fowler leaving a base, when he turns his car radio on, and it starts playing a chill version of The Touch.
You got the touch!
Although this scene is kind of a reverse of the scene that we saw in my last Transformers animated review, where Sari was humming the G1 theme song, even though that's not what she was listening to. Here, Fowler is listening to The Touch, but that's not what he's humming. Either that or he's tone deaf. It is then that Agent Fowler is attacked by a truck that looks very much like Optimus Prime, but much darker in color. We then switch to an adorable little scene of the kids racing RC cars as their Autobot partners cheer them on. Aww, so cute. Fowler calls the Autobots as he's being run off the road, or should I say bridge, by this Prime impersonator. Luckily, the Autobots arrive in time to save him. What is it with Bumblebee and catching cars?
Looks like Optimus.
Primes don't run.
So, Primes don't party, Primes don't run. Is there anything else Primes don't do, RC? RC goes looking for the imposter Prime, when she ends up getting flattened by him.
Yes, that's it. Follow the light.
Wait, what? Not the best choice of words, Ratchet.
I know, right? I was literally just about to say the same thing. Unless of course you want RC to join the Allspark Ratchet. The team suspects that Optimus may have gone back to the dark side, which is just when he happens to be returning to base. This is where this episode connects to the Rescue Bots episode that we looked at last week.
We were just wondering where you've been.
We haven't been able to reach you.
I have been outside of our communication range, in a subterranean energon deposit.
See? Optimus is referring to when he was in Griffin Rock, working with Heatwave's team in investigating a large energon deposit that they found, which unfortunately was all destroyed in order for them to escape. I guess Optimus must have pocketed a piece of energon before it all exploded? Also, I wonder if the other Autobots know about the Rescue Bots. Obviously Bumblebee does since he met them. But do the others know of their existence? Or are they a secret to everyone? So the Optimus Prime knockoff crashes his way into a military base and pretends to be the real deal as he opens fire on the soldiers.
I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, and I bring you this message.
Also, is it just me? Or was this scene a little reminiscent of Blackout transforming in the first Transformers movie? Agent Fowler is grilled over the phone by his superior, General Bryce. We unfortunately don't get to hear the General's side of the conversation, but we will meet him in the next episode, played by Robert Forster. But more on that episode next week.
They actually did it. Those butchers managed to crack the code.
Dr. Morocco!
MECH.
Oh right, MECH. Although I do wonder if they did receive any help from Dr. Morocco. Meanwhile, gamer girl Silas is showing off his sick new gaming setup as Nemesis Prime rolls in after delivering the latest shipment of bathwater.
And we know that more recently, they obtained Starscream's T-Cog.
Which they evidently installed in a knockoff of you.
Yep, there's definitely a lot of Optimus Prime knockoffs out there.
Which in turn scanned an appropriate vehicle form.
Fill the tank with energon.
And say hello to Nemesis Prime.
I kind of love that it's Miko who dubs the Optimus Prime doppelganger Nemesis Prime. She must know that she's in a Transformers cartoon, right? So the Autobots go on the hunt for Nemesis Prime, and Bumblebee is the first one to come across the monochrome clone.
Remote link?
You didn't think MECH possessed the ability to build a completely autonomous robot, did you?
Yeah, for one thing, this isn't Robotech or something, so no human pilots.
I was hoping Silas would be operating the bot from inside because one punch from Bulkhead and booyah! Ah!
And two, did Miko just advocate for human murder? Optimus and Nemesis finally face off, and it's a pretty good fight. But it seems that someone swatted Silas.
And I'm pulling the plug on your video game.
So Agent Fowler distracts Silas for a moment, while the real Optimus Prime takes the opportunity to gain the upper hand against his clone, while Silas is AFK. And it just so happens that the silo that they're battling on top of is the same one that MECH is using to livestream from. Nemesis Prime comes crashing through the roof, squishing Silas below, bringing his Twitch streaming career to a close. But we finish this episode with a hint that this may not be the end of Silas after all. Well, this was a great episode of Transformers Prime. Again, as a big Nemesis Prime fan, I love seeing any version of the character in fiction. Not you. You were a disappointment. I mean, you're not even the right color. Speaking of which, I was a little disappointed that Nemesis Prime in this show isn't truly a black repaint of Optimus Prime. He's more like a heavily desaturated, darkened, and battle-damaged version of the normal Optimus Prime character model. Something which, thankfully, the Takara Arms Micron line totally ignored, and simply did a straight-up black repaint of their Optimus Prime mold. Which I love! Definitely one of the best Nemesis Prime figures around. This episode also brings up the weird trope of characters being mistaken for an evil black copy of themselves. Which we've recently seen them do this exact same thing in Kingdom, with the Maximals and the Allspark itself both mistaking Optimus Prime for Nemesis Prime. Or, for an example outside of Transformers, and I've seen people mention this in the comments, Shadow the Hedgehog from the Sonic franchise. Which is totally true. I mean, at times, this episode almost seems to mirror Shadow's reveal in Sonic Adventure 2. With the military in that game mistaking Sonic for Shadow. Too bad Nemesis Prime can't use Chaos Control. And of course, I love that this episode has strong ties to the Rescue Bots. They do all but directly reference Griffin Rock and the Rescue Bots themselves. But I think that it's great that this episode kind of connects these two shows. I just wish that we had more of this, and we had more crossovers between Rescue Bots and Transformers Prime. Well, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you here for next week's episode, Grill. The first clip show of this series. So is that even worth covering then? Should we skip it? It'll probably be a short review. Well, I'll see you back here next week for that.
Whoa!
Easy.
Come on, it's our guy. Can't you tell?
Hold your fire! This man isn't black! What?